21st of August, they set off for the capital. And it started like any family holiday. They meant to set off at 3, they were barely moving at 5, and then at 6 o'clock they got on the road, but they had to stop for breakfast at 8. Actually, they were making good progress considering they still had 3,000 porters carrying 600 packages, some of which had to be carried by 32 men. Alongside that, they had wagons, hand carts, and 8 light field cannon. The excessive heat, the dustiness of the road, the closeness of the carriages would have made it all unbearable if it wasn't for the novelty of the scene. The smiles of people as they passed by, the cheers, the waves, and the momentary expectation of entering the greatest city on the surface of the globe. It took 2 hours to pass from the east to the west gates. Barrow said that the laughter and mirth in every group couldn't be rivalled by any of the markets in London. But when they got to the villa, about 8 miles outside of Beijing, they found it in such a ruinous state that Macartney insisted on a better house in the city. Returning to the capital gave the embassy members another chance to stand in awe at the city walls. A large house was found for them on the north side of the city, which until recently had belonged to the collector of customs at Canton. Away from the emperor's eyes, he was able to set high prices for the foreigners and embezzle public revenue. When his deeds were found out, he was relieved of office and of his brand new house. When the emperor was asked if the British would be allowed to stay there, he said, "Well, of course they can. They've already paid for it." The emperor was north of the Great Wall. He'd gone to his new summer palace and intended to spend his birthday there. So he invited the British to join him. And so Macartney and some of his officers and their retinue set off on the 136-mile trip, taking some of the smaller gifts with them. John Barrow and Dr. Dinwiddie were tasked with setting up the larger, more valuable items, and they had to do this in the exhibition hall of one of the other old summer palaces. And that was the Yuanming Yuan, the Garden of Perfection and Light. That was just on the outskirts of Beijing. And they were told that they had to stay there until the job was completed. which was a bit of a problem because the place was already falling into neglect and the rooms weren't fit for sleeping in. But John Barrow and Dr. Dinwiddie pulled together with the Chinese servants and an Italian missionary named Diodato and turned the place around. Yuen Minyuen's in ruins now. There's lots of people still here enjoying the frozen over lakes, but what was originally here has gone forever due to an Anglo-French attack in 1860. But there's good news. First piece of good news, it's been rebuilt. And the second piece of good news, in a warmer part of China, which is great for me because it's -5 here.